What did the notorious classmate do to warrant immediate expulsion? Called in a bomb threat from the cafeteria's payphone, within full earshot of the entire lunch line after he went up and down it begging for quarters to make the call. It was his second time doing so. The first time he called in a fire and got a talking to, so he escalated to a bomb threat. No clue why, he was very often just plain dumb. Weird day for a 5th grader. He beat the hell out of the school's biggest, most violent bully. The thing was, the bully had been in a motorcycle accident on a dirt bike he stole, and had a broken leg and a broken arm. But one of his victims saw his opportunity and took it. He whooped the ever-loving shit out of the guy that had made his high school life miserable, and nobody except the administration faulted him for it. The bully is now doing a long hard stretch in upstate NY for drug-related crimes, while the hero of the story is a successful businessman and quite wealthy. Lit fireworks off in the cafeteria garbage can one after another. He got 4 before teachers got to him. Also had a kid odd while sitting in class, shit himself, fall out of his chair and have a seizure. I believe he was sent to some rich kid rehab and never returned, though. We had a school-wide double lunch period one day as a celebration of our basketball team winning the state championship. Evidently, at some point, a kid had stolen a set of keys to all the classrooms and went by stealing things from different classrooms. From what I understand, he ended up with quite a haul. Laptops, cell phones, CD players, a teacher's purse, etc. He even stole a radio from one of the administrator's offices so he could hear where they all were. He got expelled and had to do a year in night school. Despite being expelled for a year, he still ended up graduating on time. This was my little brother, by the way. Went belligerent on a kid for mocking his dead mother. We were in 8th grade and a classmate's mom died the summer before and some other classmate mocked him in the middle of science. The first kid jumped over desks, got the kid on the ground and very nearly killed the kid because he wouldn't stop. I actually felt really sorry for him. Classmates make private joke to a friend about shooting up the school. Someone overhears it. He is under house arrest within 24 hours. Everyone understood it was a joke. Makes me wonder how the FBI ignored 30 calls about Parkland shooter that happened months later. Smoked weed in the dorms at a JR high boarding school surrounded by woods he could have gone into. The most smoke-free place you can find. Dum-Dum thought the toilet paper bounty sheet trick would cover the smell and didn't even open a window. Brought a gun to school. Even in the 90s that was the boot. But oddly enough I don't think he faced any criminal charges. I could be wrong, but either way he was out the door. 6th grade, this piece of shit classmate who was always sexually harassing girls with lewd comments went too far. He cornered a girl in the stairwell, ran his hands all over, up her skirt, forcibly kissed her. Teacher saw it, broke it up. Principal was a woman who was furious and called the police and had him arrested for sexual assault. He never stepped foot in our school again. Threw a table at another student, we were like 9 at the time. I knew someone in high school that apparently brought a pipe bomb to school. All I knew is that all of a sudden he wasn't in class anymore. He never seemed like the type to do that. It was really weird. I saw him again a few years later after high school, and by that time I had forgotten about the whole thing, so I didn't ask him about it now, though I wish I could. Got stabby with a pizza cutter and attacked the rugby team in a blind rage. Brought gang violence to the school when the opposing gang tried to do a drive-by on him during school hours. It got so bad at my school that the principal basically expelled anyone caught with drugs or caught fighting in the hallways, and that drastically helped with a lot of the problems. Expelled for beating up a kid and expelled again from new school a week later for going back to the old school to beat up the same guy. And her boyfriend murdered her mom in a cornfield. Sexually assaulted someone at the campus bar. Once the criminal charges were laid, instantly booted out of the university and his PhD program. He was convicted too. Not my classmate, but what's surprisingly common in my schooling are students taking pictures in the clinical settings. Simon guys, we learned in semester 1 what HIPAA is. 70s 6th grade employee talking in class. To everyone's shock and horror, the teacher grabbed him by his shirt front and slammed him into a wall and he dropped to the floor. Kid stood up and punched the teacher in the face. Classroom full of kids testified to the principal and school administrators exactly what happened. Result: kid was expelled, teacher was back in the classroom the next week.